how is PropTech marketing different from real estate marketing?
We've probably qualified more than 100,000 leads as of now. Got some incredible angels on board: Tanmay Bhatt, Ali Abdal. We got featured in Forbes Middle East, Your Story.
Is performance marketing dead? What do you think? What is the blueprint for a high converting landing page?
UGC, 100%.
Any advice for young marketers out there?
Please don't do masters.
I think India has done a super, phenomenal job on cracking the influencer scene. I don't think any other country has got as well as India has done.
India has cracked the art of community building, I would say.
Do marketers need to know how to code?
I probably have a very controversial opinion on this.
Okay, so hi, Suzana.
Hi.
Yeah, so it's really nice to have you. It was a little bit of a hassle to actually get to this point, but thank you so much for joining. So maybe just for the listeners and for the viewers, maybe if you can just break down what PropTech marketing actually is, or to phrase it in a better way, how is PropTech marketing different from real estate marketing?
Okay, so real estate marketing, you are obviously targeting buyers, sellers, tenants, landlords, right? PropTech
Mm-hmm.
marketing is sort of like flipping the script. We are targeting real estate agents and brokerages. So
Mm-hmm.
we need to be posting content that's tailored to them. It's not about selling a house, it's about the difficulties they go through. Something that a buyer
Mm-hmm.
and seller goes through is not what a real estate agent goes through. Real estate agents, what do they care about the most? Their time. And they want to be making
Yeah.
more money,
Yeah.
not about buying a house. So
Mm-hmm.
um, that's the kind of marketing that goes into it. And in terms of the types of marketing, the real estate world in Dubai is very relationship driven, I would say, right? A lot of referrals, um, lots of content marketing, because all of these guys are on social media. Like that's what they do to wind down.
Yeah.
Performance marketing, you can try, but it won't be as effective as content marketing, because in the end, it's a very trust and credibility driven field, right? So
Yeah.
whenever
Yeah.
they see a company, the first thing they do is go and check, oh, okay, what have they done before? Who are the people behind this company?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when people will buy into you. It's very similar to normal real estate marketing as well. Like suppose you see a real estate agent online, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you saw a video of them showing off like a new development or whatever. The first thing you're going to do is
Yeah.
go click on their profile, see like how many followers
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have, what they've posted
Yeah.
before, who they've worked with, because in the
Mm-hmm.
end buying a house is such a big decision, right? It involves a lot of money as well. So
Yeah.
you want to go with the familiar face, someone who you feel is a lot like you as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's the biggest difference between real estate marketing and prop tech marketing. Real estate is a little bit more flashy. Prop tech is a
Yeah.
little bit more like, oh, we understand the pain you're going through as a real estate agent. Oh, like you don't have
Yeah.
time, we want to get your time back. Basically just addressing their pain points. That's all that matters for prop tech marketing, in my
So it's
opinion.
always a B2B approach, right? Because you're always serving the agents or the real estate companies as opposed to the actual consumers
Yeah,
or the
yeah,
actual tenants
yeah,
itself. So
obviously, yeah.
let's yeah, so let's talk about Kendall a little bit. Maybe you
Mhm.
wanna introduce Kendall to the people who aren't familiar with the platform. So yeah.
Okay, Kendall, I would say, is a lot of things right now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the core of it, we're an AI assistant for real estate agents and brokerages. We're
Mm-hmm.
building the first ever voice activated AI workforce for
Mm-hmm.
real estate right now. So, what we're looking at is you went to a viewing, the client really liked it. You just voice note into your CRM and you're like, hey, I just had a meeting with Smith. He really liked the property. Let's get the Form A, Form F, and all of that ready.
Mm-hmm.
Please send him all the other required documents, and please alert the team that this is ready to be bought or sold. And automatically,
Yeah.
the CRM does all of that for you. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
extent to what we're looking at, because right now agents, what they do is they focus a lot of time on admin work.
Yeah.
They go for these multiple viewings like throughout the day. You know how Dubai real estate is. It's
Yeah.
crazy out
Yeah.
there, right? Yeah. They go for all of these viewings. They come back and they literally don't even have time to update the CRM, and they don't even like using a CRM in the first place. You'd be surprised how many brokerages over here are still using Excel sheets to maintain all of their leads and everything. And we're in the 21st century. Like, you
Yeah,
can't be
yeah.
doing that. So we're just trying to make CRMs fun again, if that's like
Mm-hmm.
the best way to put it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
So it's basically a lead management platform for agents.
I wouldn't just call it a lead management platform. It would be a
Mm-hmm.
real estate's what do you call it? A co-pilot. So
Okay, makes sense.
yeah,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
I think that's the best way to put it. Like whatever
Yeah.
an agent in the end just has to show up for the viewing. All of the
Mm-hmm.
other work should be
Yeah.
automated and should be done by this AI assistant. So
Yeah.
the first version that we released in Kendall was this AI assistant on WhatsApp. So
Yeah.
real estate agents, whether it's Property Finder, Bayouth, or anything, like they always get leads constantly. Like sometimes they get even 50 leads a day. How can you reply
Mm-hmm.
to 50 leads a day within a couple of minutes and also like finish replying to them on time within one day if you're getting 50?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we built this AI assistant where if a lead comes in, automatically this assistant engages with this lead, talking like a normal
Mhm.
human being and even qualifying it. So after it qualifies it, it gets added to the CRM automatically. So one, the lead is replied to on time. Two, you're
Mhm.
getting qualified leads on your CRM. So this was the first version that we released, but now obviously like the product has become like so much more mature where right now you can voice note, like you can be like, hi, Kendall, please book a viewing for 2 o'clock tomorrow with this person, and it does it. So
Oh,
within one
okay.
year, we went from just a lead qualification assistant to voice activated appointments and viewings.
That's crazy. So it started up as a WhatsApp
Yeah,
plugin, so to
WhatsApp
say.
only tool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then now it's become this entire CRM platform, which is
Mm-hmm.
AI powered, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I want to know how, when you guys were going pitching, or when you guys were going pitching to these real estate companies, what was the initial feedback like, or what was the initial reactions like? Did they love the idea? What did they hop in on directly in the first meeting itself, or was it a constant struggle to like actually and make them understand what you're like, how much value you're adding through your product, like how much time you would help them save, how much
Yeah.
leads you would, not lose
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. So something that I love about the UAE real estate market is they're very open. And especially if
Hmm.
you are someone who's born and brought up in UAE, like we're just
Yeah.
like a bunch of Dubai kids building this, right? So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
definitely was like a good, something for them to bet on. Um,
Yeah.
and in general, real estate agents are very receptive to tech. The
Mm.
moment they hear
Okay.
AI agents or anything, they're just like, oh, are they going to replace us? But it took a
Hmm.
lot for us to comfort them, saying, hey, listen, like, nobody's going to replace you. They're just going to be your, right hand man. Like, that's it.
Hmm.
That's what an
Yeah.
AI
Yeah.
agent is, right? So that was the
Yeah.
bit we struggled with, sort of convincing them that nobody's going to replace them and this is just like a sidekick for you.
Mhm.
But a strategy that worked very well for us was,
Mhm.
starting the podcast.
Mm.
Again,
Yeah.
real estate is a very, very credibility, trust, and relationship driven business.
Yeah.
Um, we started a podcast. We invited a bunch of real estate agents to it because, like Farouk Syed, Realtor on a Harley, and a
Yeah.
bunch of others. Like literally every big real estate agent in Dubai, we got them on the podcast. We
Yeah.
even got people like Daniel Daggers, Gary Hersham, which are like big boys in the London real
Mhm.
estate market. And the thing
Yeah.
is, once they get on and once you're associated with people like them, automatically everyone trusts you. So
Yeah. Yeah.
starting the real estate podcast with Joel, that was
Yeah.
definitely like a small marketing play as well. Now
Yeah. Yeah.
we've got like over 35 plus brokerages working with us.
This is current stats, right?
Yeah, current stats.
So who were the early bird investors or so? Like, who were the ones who were the first real estate companies in UAE that you guys onboarded? Maybe the first three or the first five.
Yeah, 100%. We in fact got like one of the biggest real estate agencies. It's Better Homes, who was one of our first
Mhm.
ever clients. They took a huge bet on
Yeah.
us.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, they've been like our biggest supporters. They're constantly
Mm-hmm.
giving feedback. And yeah, in the end, um, either you can be afraid of AI or you can just use AI and get ahead of everyone else. The way I
Yeah.
always say it, AI is your unfair advantage. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Better Homes from day one was looking to implement solutions to make their workflows like way easier and to reduce the admin tasks. So
Yeah.
yeah, they were one of our first clients. Then we've had a couple in Abu Dhabi. And recently, we
Hmm.
just onboarded one of the oldest brokerages in the world, which is Chesterton's. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's our recent client. But I don't remember exactly who the first three are. I can say Better Homes was one of them.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy to know. Let's dive a little more into marketing in detail.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think now we kind of have understood the whole prop tech scene and how it functions. So
Hmm.
let's talk about a couple of marketing strategies that we use apart from. Okay, we know we use the podcast and stuff, but let's talk a little more about the day-to-day activities. So the whole idea behind this podcast is so that anybody who's a young marketer, right, or even a seasoned professional, because it's a constantly evolving industry, right, and you're constantly learning from, you're learning and you're unlearning, and then you keep reinventing yourself, right? So
Hmm.
anybody watching this who is a marketer, who is an aspiring marketer, I want them to I want them to be able to pick something from this, right? Something that's very valuable. So maybe let's talk about what domain brings maximum results first. Like, what all channels do you guys use for Kendall?
So I'll start with like a very, very important phrase that I always tell anyone who I hire. In the end, people
Hmm.
buy from people. People don't like buying from companies. So something that our company is very, very focused on is personal branding. So
Yeah.
me, Aman, who's a director of sales, and Joel, who's a
Mhm.
CEO, we've decided among three of us that we three are going to build our personal brands and we're going to be the faces of the company. So instead of
Yeah.
just the company like advertising themselves, there's three people who are constantly posting on LinkedIn, who are constantly posting on Instagram. So it's like three times the output and
Mhm.
the inbound that you're going to get.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's like one strategy that I will swear by.
Hmm.
And in a nutshell, it's like founder led marketing. Even though we're not founders, in general, founder led marketing is something that works so well right now. Because people don't
Yeah.
want to just see like flashy stuff. They want to see your struggles. They want to see how you did it. They're gonna buy
Mhm.
into the person, not the company. In fact,
Get
most
it.
of our customers and everything, more than the product, they love us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and in fact, if you go onto our Instagram page right now, it's less about the
Hmm.
product. It's just about like what kind of company we are and how we are as people. So
Yeah.
sometimes when you go in for meetings, they'll just be like, "Oh my God, like, oh, we saw you in that video." And the other
Yeah.
day, Joel put up a LinkedIn post and someone commented saying, "Hey, we saw you guys in the car. Like, I was the car next to you. I was driving the convertible next to you." So that's the power of personal branding and relatable marketing, right? Like just being
Yeah.
real and like putting yourself out there. So
Yeah.
in our opinion, like that's what's generated the most results for us, and of course the podcast as well. We've
Yeah.
tried
Yeah.
performance marketing for a bit, but like I said,
Hmm.
the moment it becomes an ad, people don't
Hmm.
necessarily like, you know, buying into it because
Yeah.
they're just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they're just like selling to me. They don't like being sold to. It's rather like,
Yeah.
building a relationship. Sometimes we just go grab coffee with people. We're just like, hey, we noticed you're like doing this. Like, how can we help you? Let's grab coffee together. And sometimes it's about just bringing value to them. It doesn't
Yeah.
even have
Yeah.
to be about the CRM. Sometimes we just give
Hmm.
advice on like how they can do personal branding or how they can better their
Yeah.
business. We
Yeah.
even give tech advice and all of that. And we build a
Hmm.
relationship with them. And then maybe later on they will buy into the product. So it's like a value first kind of approach in terms of our marketing and how we close more.
Hmm. So I understand. So you're a huge advocate for like organic growth, basically. It's all
Yes,
about organic
100%.
content, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
Because we
just
have
it's
tried,
yeah.
sorry, we have tried
No, no,
performance
go
marketing. We've done Google ads, we've done Facebook ads, we've done all of that.
on.
But I just feel like you can, for the amount of money that you're putting into Google ads and Facebook ads, you can generate way better results if you just post a lot of like content on Instagram, TikTok, and all of these places.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because I think Google ads, it'll cost you at least 10 to 15K a month to generate
yeah, yeah.
like 10 to 15
Decent number
quality
of leads.
leads. Yeah. Because real estate is a very, very expensive field to
Yeah,
market in. Because in the end, you're
yeah,
not, um, like, you have to, your ads should show up alongside Imar, Bingati, all of these big players, alongside Property Finder. So as a
yeah,
startup, to
yeah,
compete with people who have million dirham budgets, that's
yeah.
just not viable, right?
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. No, the thing is, so this actually brings me to the next controversial question. A lot of people are discussing this. A lot of marketers are discussing this. Is performance marketing dead? What do you think? because it honestly differs, right? Because you can't really omit its existence. It does come in handy at certain times, right? You need to
Yeah.
incorporate it at times when it really matters. But do you think it's dead? Do you think it's a dying out field?
Good question. And I personally think it's not dead, but
Mm-hmm.
you need something of a personal brand for you to do performance marketing. So,
Yeah.
anyone that's starting out, I would say first, like without any following, without any credibility, without anything on your page, do not do performance marketing. It's just,
Yeah.
you're just throwing money, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Instead, first focus on like building your presence and building everything. And then maybe
Mm-hmm.
once you've hit like a certain milestone, maybe like 3K 4K followers and like a certain amount of views, then if you do performance marketing, it like your outcome is far better than if you just do it
Yeah.
without building anything. So it's not dead, because to this day, if I see an ad of something that's relevant to me, I still click on
Yeah.
it and I try it out, you know. It
Mm-hmm.
works,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's like an ad that I see on Instagram or anywhere. And in
Yeah.
terms of Google ads, if you Google something like that you exactly want, and the first result you see is an ad, you're still going to click on it because you're
Yeah. Yeah.
asking a question. It's literally answering your question, right?
Yeah.
In terms of Meta, it's a mix of brand awareness and also
Mm-hmm.
like, you will reach like an audience, and yeah, like
Yeah.
whoever's
Yeah.
interested will click on it. So I wouldn't say it's dead. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
performance marketing cannot function alone. It needs to
Yeah.
function along with content marketing and, founder led
Yeah.
marketing.
And what platform actually do you see max ROI for PropTech marketing? Like for example, if you're going to be running paid campaigns,
Mhm.
then what kind of platform do you guys leverage the most? Like what brings in most results? Is it Meta ads? Is it Google ad? Is it a little bit of ABM, LinkedIn, all of that? Like what is it?
So LinkedIn's not much, just because most real estate agents don't use LinkedIn. Like they
Really?
don't even
I
have
thought it was
LinkedIn
the
profiles.
opposite.
No,
I thought
they
it was
don't
the
spend their
opposite.
time on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's very rare. Only very few
Oh,
companies I've noticed spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, like especially real estate agents.
yeah.
Maybe like White and Co, Better Homes. All
Hmm.
of these people, yes, they post on LinkedIn, but like in general, it's not a practice for them to use LinkedIn because they're very a lot of real estate agents are technologically like a little backwards. They
Hmm.
want to just sell to buyers, and buyers are not on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Buyers
yeah,
are
100%.
usually like, yeah, exactly. So they're not spending their time there. They're spending their time on Instagram.
Hmm.
So in terms of like the most ROI, I would say right now it's probably Meta, just because a
Okay.
lot of real estate agents are trying to create content. They're always on Instagram. They're searching for ideas. They're searching for information on like new developments and all of that. So 100% Meta right now, the
But
most
doesn't like
ROI.
ABM work? But doesn't ABM work to reach decision makers at these real estate companies, like through LinkedIn and stuff? If you can run those personalized messages and stuff, if you can run that
Yeah,
as a campaign on LinkedIn,
yeah.
wouldn't that really help?
So
I'm assuming.
that does help as well for us. We
Yeah,
do a lot of Dripify campaigns on LinkedIn.
yeah, yeah.
So like we just like write a few messages and we connect with people and then we send them cold DMs. That does work
Mm-hmm.
really well for us. But again, that's not a very long term kind of solution, right? Like
Yeah.
even though like we are messaging them, if you don't have credibility on LinkedIn, they're not going to reply to you. The reason why
So
it
your
works so well
yeah,
Mhm. The reason why it works so well for us is because me, Joel, Aman have really good personal brands on LinkedIn. If anyone
yeah,
else would text like these people or cold message, they're just like, why should I reply to him?
yeah, yeah.
So it
Credibility
comes back to
matters.
my original point that any marketing does not work without a personal brand.
Makes sense. It's become the norm today, right?
Yeah,
So.
because
Yeah.
especially in real estate, it's a very trust and credibility driven field, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. I think even for the a lot of these freelancers, especially from India and stuff, they've all like done a great job in like building a personal brand. Because initially the freelance sector was always about getting referrals, and then you build projects
Yeah.
after projects after projects, that you focus so much on the projects itself that you don't have time to actually put out content as to what you do and stuff, which helps inbound, right? So
Yeah.
I think now personal branding, everyone has mastered it to an extent, I feel, but still there are people who don't know the power of it. And I feel like everyone, even if you're in a profession that really doesn't matter, which is not in marketing, I feel like they should definitely do personal branding, right? Whether you're an
Yeah.
engineer or a doctor, I feel like
Yeah.
you should have some. This content is the norm, right?
Absolutely. So I was having this conversation with someone yesterday. And I was just telling
Mm-hmm.
them that, like, eventually in the next couple of years, your social media is going to be your resume. Written
Exactly.
resumes
Yeah.
are not going to be a thing anymore. So you
It's
can
already
either build
happening,
it
I
right
feel.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Like right now, I think recruiters even go through your LinkedIn. They see like what you've
Yeah.
done, if
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
posted anything. And in fact,
Yeah.
like so many times I've even got people
Yeah.
reaching out saying like, "Hey, we would like to hire you," just after seeing my
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn post. So the world is slowly changing. Like your social capital
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
everything.
Exactly. So when you target certain POCs, do you target real estate agents or do you target the decision makers at these real estate companies, like your product heads or your head of agents or whatever, like your marketing heads or your VP of XYZ departments? Because I know this platform is very niche for the real estate agents, but most often than not, they might not have the the power to actually make a decision. They'd have to run it by their managers and their line managers, and there's like this whole process of hierarchy that goes where you can actually onboard them as a client, right? So who do you actually target when you run paid campaigns?
In when we used to do performance marketing before, we were targeting mainly sales heads,
Hmm.
COOs, CEOs,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
not really agents. Because in the end, agents they're not decision makers. Even if they
Yeah.
see something, it's not like they're gonna go recommend your product to someone else. So mainly
Yeah.
just even when you're cold DMing and like doing Dripify campaigns, it's just
Hmm.
the key decision makers that we target.
And
And
I
brokerage
yeah,
heads as well, owners.
brokerage. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. When it comes to organic marketing or organic content, what channel actually brings in max ROI for Kendall? Like, is it Instagram? Is it LinkedIn? Is it email? Or is it any other platform
For
that
us,
you
it's
guys have?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn.
100%
Just
max.
because, yeah, just yeah, and also like we're just really good at like writing our posts, if you see. So
Yeah.
for three of us personally, just because we have really good like personal brands on LinkedIn, LinkedIn has
Hmm.
generated the most like ROI for us in terms of like organic marketing.
Yeah, but again, this is a constant conflict that I'm fighting with. When you build your personal brand so much, it's all about the product that you're building or the company that you're building, or the achievements that you've done so far, and the story that your natural story arc, right? Like your career progression and stuff is publicly displayed. So the thing is, how does that correlate to conversions? Like how does someone seeing your post, because not all of them are going to be real estate agents, right? In, let's say, in your case, or let's say in Joel's case, or the thing is, not everyone is going to be, a lot of the followers are going to be your
Yeah,
university connections and
100%.
your family friends. Yeah, so how does an actual lead reach you out?
So, you have to basically optimize your profile, is what I would say. Number one, include a
Hmm.
lot of real estate keywords in your profile, like the right keywords as well.
Yeah.
Second thing, if you're going into a certain field, prop tech for say, like you need to go and connect with literally everyone you know in the real estate world. Go connect with
Hmm.
200, 300 people in real estate, like send them requests. Um,
Hmm. So
and third thing,
networking, yeah, basically.
yeah, because automatically your audience changes then. And if they see you interact with
Yeah.
a lot of real estate people, it'll get pushed to more real estate people.
Yeah.
And third
Yeah.
thing, interact with real estate content, like comment on other real estate agents' content. So
Hmm.
automatically it gets pushed to them. And yes, they may not interact with your first post, they may not interact with your second post. Maybe the third post they'll see and they'll be like, oh my God, I just like the progression has been crazy for this guy. Like,
Yeah.
it's worth having a chat. So many times the person has just reached out to us saying, like, hey, listen, I've been following you for a bit. I
Hmm.
actually want to see the product. Can you come in and give a demo?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it may take even 10 posts for you to like for them to like reach out to you, but it's about building that pipeline, right? So that's
Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
way I would look at LinkedIn posting. Even though like other people are seeing it, you're slowly building your real estate brand as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like, maybe can you like touch upon a couple of tips that you can give when doing, let's say, a LinkedIn strategy, for example. Let's say I'm building a PropTech company, okay, from scratch, and I'm trying to build my personal brand right now so that I can talk about the product, talk about the company, my journey, X, Y, Z. and a couple of engagement tactics that we use, like you said, commenting on other people's posts, like people who are related to the field that you are in. Is that always backed up by a strategic cold outreach, or is it like completely inbound? So
Okay,
how does
cool.
that work?
So I'll tell you what we did that worked really well for us. Start posting on LinkedIn, obviously. Um,
Yeah,
and it doesn't always have to be about real estate. It can just be about like the tiny wins or something about your journey, or even like giving thought, like basically thought leadership, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that's something that works really well for me and for Joel. We
Mm-hmm.
always put like very hard hitting thoughts and like tips on how to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
sales, on how to do marketing, and all of these things.
It's always
Um,
very motivational for some reason. Like every time I stumble upon yours or Joel's post, it's like motivation, motivation, motivation. It's every time it's motivation. Like it's
yeah,
celebrate your wins, celebrate your failures, everything. It's all about that. Like it's all about
yeah,
growth. So,
yeah,
yeah,
very much. And like, think about it. Even a real estate agent, it's hard to be motivated, right, all the time. Like it's really
yeah,
hard.
it
So
is.
like when they see this, they feel a little good. It's about giving them that dopamine hit, or like giving them that little nudge. So the moment they
Yeah.
see it, they're just like, okay, cool. Like, they like it. And once when
Mm-hmm.
they like it, each time you post, you're constantly in their feeds. So imagine you
Yeah.
post
Yeah.
something about motivation, or like, confidence or anything, or marketing, and they like it. The next time you
Mm-hmm.
post about your product, automatically it's in their feed, and they're like, oh, this person that I look up to, that
Yeah.
constantly posts about motivation, is selling a product now. Oh, I would like to
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
learn a bit more about it. So that's our strategy. We do like four non-product related posts, and then
Yeah.
the fifth one will be a product post.
Yeah.
And
So
that's a
it's
very
it's
similar
kind of
strategy.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I was saying like it's very similar to, like, if I have to draw a parallel, maybe it's very similar to how influencers start by posting very random things, maybe reacting to like videos, or maybe they do sketches and stuff, and then slowly, once they've built a community or once they've built enough traction, then they just build a product so that they can
Yes.
monetize their, or they can leverage their community into buying customers. Right? They can transform them into buying customers. So it's the same approach I feel.
100%.
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm
would you
so glad
say,
you
yeah,
you said it like that, because that's exactly how I look at this. And like something that I've told our entire team is like each of them need to be influencers. I don't like the word
yeah,
influencer, but
yeah,
in the end, we all have to be content creators, because content is king right now, right?
mhm,
Like I
mhm,
said, social capital is everything. So
yeah,
first we build a following, like we build credibility, we build all of that, and then when you
yeah,
release a product, automatically they trust you. What is the biggest
mhm,
reason why people don't buy into products? They're just like scared, and they're like,
yeah,
not going to
yeah.
be useless for us. But the moment they
You're very,
trust you and they listen to everything you say and you launch a product, they're just going to be like, okay, if she's doing something, there must be like some truth to it, right? There must
yeah,
be some use to it. So automatically they buy into your product as well.
yeah. So have you guys ever considered doing outbound, maybe like billboards, print ads, the traditional routes, apart from like uh, the usual PR articles and stuff? I'm talking about like actual billboards on the streets and stuff like that. Like, have you considered that?
I would love to consider it, but like, in the end, we're still a startup. And if you look at
Yeah,
how
yeah,
much a
yeah.
billboard costs, it's
Yeah, it is. It is pretty
crazy.
expensive.
It's like almost 1 million dirhams like for a week or something,
Yeah,
you know? Um,
yeah, yeah.
so and yeah, just because of that, like I haven't even thought of like the whole 360-degree marketing. Just
Mm-hmm.
because it's like not fit for a startup at this point. Like we're very
Yeah,
lean, I would say. That's the right word.
yeah. Yeah, I want to digress a little bit, maybe step into a little bit of product design, if you may, because as marketers, although our focus is like a lot of these job descriptions get it wrong. In the initial phase of our careers, like we learn all skill sets, right? As marketers, like if you're an upcoming and very passionate marketer, you want to learn all domains because you know that a good landing page will give you XYZ results, right? Compared to a very badly designed landing page. So then it's all about that journey. Like, how do I learn product design? Like, how so that I don't have to depend on someone else to create a landing page. So then you go through that journey, right? How can I optimize my landing page? So then you pick up skills like Figma, or you pick up some sort of any UI like XD or something, and then you start doing it yourself. So my question is, this is mainly for the upcoming marketers, right? The people who are aspiring, maybe fresh graduates or people who are just trying to make a career switch. Do marketers need to have UX skills? Like, do they need to learn UI or UX design?
I probably have a very controversial opinion on this, but I
Yes, please
believe
give me the
marketers,
controversy.
yeah, I believe all marketers that in
Mm-hmm.
fact, like I don't even think marketing alone can be a profession anymore, because
Mm.
like AI has come in and it can literally replace you in like a second. So you
Yeah,
need to be a kind of a Swiss Army knife. You need to be a designer. You need, in fact, everyone, literally everyone building a company needs to have design knowledge, and they need to have
yeah,
design thinking. Um,
yeah,
they need to know how to edit videos, how to like at least like the basics of it, because you can't always
yeah,
wait for a videographer to like post content.
yeah, yeah,
They need
yeah,
to understand UX, they need to understand UI, and last thing, they need to understand tech. Without
yeah,
understanding tech, you're a shit marketer. That's the only way I look at it.
yeah. So maybe a couple of tools that they can start off with. Like, what do you suggest
In
for
terms
UI
of
UX design?
tools for
Yeah,
UI UX design, Figma.
yeah.
Like, if you're a
Figma.
marketer who does not know Figma, then like you're losing out big time. Even if it's like graphic design or anything, you just need to know the basics of it. I'm not saying be an expert in
Yeah,
it, but like kind of like be a jack of all trades,
yeah.
and maybe
Did you
marketing be
make
your
the
main
Kendall
thing.
website? Did you make
Yes.
the Kendall website?
Yes.
Wow, I was super impressed. I was like, "Damn, this
Yeah.
is some solid stuff." Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
built it
there
on
is no,
Framer.
yeah, no. So there aren't any designated product designers with Kendall at the moment.
So we have a product designer, but he's focusing on the web app. I don't design the
Okay.
Kendall product itself. I just made the
Yeah,
website.
yeah, yeah.
Because
So
in
he
the end,
designs
if
the
I,
CRM.
yeah. So, in terms of like my career progression, I told you I started off as a designer. Actually, I started off as
Yeah.
just a social media manager. Then I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
why do I need to wait on a designer to like post something? It's like so time consuming. So I managed to
Yeah,
learn
yeah, yeah,
Photoshop, Illustrator, and all of
yeah,
these things. And then after that,
yeah,
I was like, okay, I joined Kendall, and I'm like, okay, why do I need to wait for a developer to create a website? Like, let me figure it out, because
yeah,
anyway, like what they design is not going to be what I like. So I learned
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wix back then,
Oh God, I can relate
and then
so
I
much to
realized,
this.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then later I realized, okay, Wix is not customizable enough. I need more
Mm-hmm.
control, and then I learned
Yeah,
Framer, and
yeah, yeah,
now now that our website and everything is built out, I want to learn how to do automations. So I'm
mm,
slowly getting into N8 and Lovable and all of these things, and like
yeah.
basically build mini products so that I don't have to constantly rely on my tech team to do these things. So
What do you think about Lovable so far?
it's not there yet, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
what they say online is like, oh my God, you don't need to know any coding language, whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like regardless of that, you need to understand a little bit of code, a little bit of tech to actually like use Lovable.
yeah,
Like it's not as user friendly as they make it seem, because even now, even though I am a little tech forward, I'm constantly
yeah,
asking ChatGPT, oh, why is this happening this way? Oh, how do I plug into
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ChatGPT? How do I? It's not very straightforward. But I do think that in the maybe in the next 1 year, it's definitely going to get there, because I think Canva also launched Canva Code. I haven't tried it out
Yeah,
yet, but slowly every company is going into the whole AI and no code thing. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
big
My only
expectations.
My only problem with Lovable is the fact that you can't really customize it so much unless you're a hardcore developer who have like some insane UI skills. The
Yeah.
only problem is, yeah, it's super, like you prompt something and then it spits out the UI that it thinks is best, right? So then there's only so much that you can do with prompting. Like you need to be really good at the prompt that you give. I don't think there's much options where you can give references, or maybe there is. I might be getting this wrong. But
Yeah.
then like that feeling of actually doing it hands on, because you know how much your corners need to be, you know what the look and feel of your elements need to be. So that is really hard to emulate on a
Yeah.
platform like that. Maybe in the future it'll get there, like you said, but
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
moment I don't think
And
it's
also
implemented.
as a non-coder, it's not as easy as they make it seem to be.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I think I
100%.
sat with it for a couple of hours, and I was not able to figure out like how to do anything. Even N8N for that
Yeah.
matter is not very straightforward, but I'm sure if we just put like a bit of time into it, we can get there.
Oh, Anyton is insane. Like it's part of my workflow. I think it's
Yeah.
been a part of my workflow for the last 4 to 5 months, like full on, like properly.
Okay.
So it is, my God, when like you can't even compare it to a Zapier or anything, because
Yeah.
I was very dependent on Zapier and tools like that. But compared to the customizable features in N8, oh my God, it's a game changer. Like it takes out,
Yeah.
you have so much time in your hand because you can automate at such scale. It's insane.
Yeah.
But Lovable, coming back to Lovable, I feel like it's really. I don't think it's implementable at companies and stuff at the moment because it's
I
really not
yeah.
viable. I feel. Yeah,
Definitely
vibe
not at
coding.
company
Yeah,
levels. But I've seen like people
yeah,
build mini apps from it. In fact,
yeah,
one of my friends the other day, she built like a mini recipe book app from just
yeah,
Lovable. She's just a product designer, and
yeah,
like she got Lovable to do that because she doesn't know how to code.
mhm,
So I think like
yeah, yeah,
small tasks, definitely it can
mhm,
do it. But like bigger
yeah,
things where people are like, oh, I built an entire um app that does like, crazy tasks. I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
that's very true. I don't think that's
And it's a
possible
lot of
yet.
front end stuff, right? Like you probably will have to link it to Superbase or something for the back end. So again, you need to
Yeah.
have multiple
Probably the
stuff.
front end looks great. The back end is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
very messed up.
There's like zero functionality. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is something. Did you see what how Figma is suing? It's not, they're not exactly suing, but they send them like a very formal letter saying don't use the word dev mode because it's trademarked by us and stuff. Did you see that? They've sent a formal
That's so
letter
stupid.
to no, it happened
companies
about a
companies
week
just
ago.
like fighting with each other over stupid things.
Yeah, yeah, but that's an actual thing because they feel like Lovable can surpass Figma at some point. They kind of
Take
see
over
them like a,
Figma?
not take
Wow.
over, but maybe surpass them in terms of, because the growth is insane.
Mm.
So they kind of, I don't know, it felt like a move that shouldn't have happened from a company like Figma. But because there are so many tools, right? So many other platforms that use the word dev mode, but they, I felt like it
Yeah.
was a little, yeah.
That's fair.
Uh,
That's fair. Yeah.
Maybe talking about landing pages, what are, is there a ideal blueprint for the structure of a landing page, like from your experience of building multiple landing pages? Do you think, is there a framework, like if do you, what does the first hero section look like, what is the section that should follow, like is there something that can bring in max ROI or bring in max conversions, like what is the blueprint for a high converting landing page?
So, something that I always follow is the moment they land on the page and they read the first line, it should strike a chord within them. That first line is everything and it should address a pain point that they're having. So, so ours right now is the real estate CRM that works for you 24/7. So the
Mm-hmm.
real estate CRM is a solution we're offering, works for you 24/7 is hitting a pain point that they have because right now they're always working. So if you get a CRM
Mm-hmm.
to work for you instead of you working for it,
Yeah.
that like strikes a chord, right? So that line, in my opinion, is like the most important. And every single section after that should be in fact, like it shouldn't even sell your product. It should address a problem that they have. Like
Mm-hmm. Pain
problem,
points.
solution. Yeah. A very pain point driven landing page is, in my opinion, the best. And something that I like to implement is a CTA for every section because people don't like uh, scrolling at all. Like they see
Mm-hmm.
something immediately, like if it hits like an emotional thing, then they just want to click
Yeah,
and like book a demo with you. And
yeah.
again, another thing that I love doing is like click to WhatsApp basically. So they should click on
Mhm.
the button, immediately should take them
Yeah,
to WhatsApp. So they know that, oh my God, like this company has directly given their WhatsApp. Like I don't have to
yeah,
fill a form and like wait for them to call me back. So once they like click and land on WhatsApp, they can just chat with our AI assistant.
yeah.
Again, they're replied to immediately, which they love, and they get a taste of what they're going to buy into as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then it just says like, hey, like someone from our team will reach out to you. Like um, all of our conversation notes have been generated and have been sent to a team member. They'll call you back ASAP. And before we used to have a thing where you can book a call at a time that you want. So the AI
Yeah.
assistant would ask you like, "Oh, what time should we call you back?" And then they'd be like, "Okay, 3 o'clock tomorrow." And then it would
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Okay, cool." we'll schedule a meeting for 3 o'clock, and then it would automatically like add to our calendar and stuff. But later, like, we decided not to do that because everyone kept booking calls for the same time, and we couldn't hop on so many calls. So now it's just like
Mhm.
open-ended, and now it's just like, oh, someone will reach out to you soon.
Okay.
So yeah, that's something that's worked really well for us in terms of landing page. In fact, we've generated so many leads just because people clicked on it, and
Mm-hmm.
automatically they take into WhatsApp, and the moment they take into WhatsApp, it's added to the CRM. So they didn't have to fill
Yeah.
anything in. Now we have their
Yeah.
number. Because the moment you click on that WhatsApp link, we have their number.
What about social proof on
Yes.
landing pages?
Yes, of course. So testimonials, all of that works really well. And before we used to have a video as well of us just talking. And
Mm-hmm.
also we've linked our Instagram and everything. So the moment they click on Instagram and they head to our Instagram, they see like, okay, these guys post a lot. Oh, these faces look familiar. They have 14K followers. Like, yeah, automatically like the trust is built, right? Um,
What kind of social proof would you prefer? Like, what do you think is more like high converting? Is it the static text with a link to their LinkedIn's or something, or is it like proper UGC, like um,
UGC,
user generated content?
100%. Like, oh my God, if you get one of your customers to talk about you and like talk about what is done for their business, that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that works so well. Because right now, you know, we're just like 1 year old, right? So we haven't got like a chance to like record with our customers yet. In fact, we're in the process of doing it. But a lot of
Yeah.
the times when we speak to brokerages or like any owners, the first thing they want to do is like, hey, can we hop on call with one of your customers just to understand like, what it's done for them. And the moment they
Yeah.
hop
Yeah.
on call with a customer and like, the customer says good things about them, about
Mm-hmm.
us, sorry, automatically they're like, okay, fine, we want to buy into your product. Because if they
Mm-hmm.
hear another brokerage owner or another agent talking about how we've helped them, that's enough proof for them. And this agent they've probably like seen before because Dubai real estate is a very, Dubai in general is a very small world. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you see everyone like somehow you'll like within 1 year of living here, somehow
Yeah.
you'll get to know like most people here. That's just how Dubai is. It's a very small city.
Yeah. So just to sum up, a very compelling hero section that addresses the pain point. Then there would be CTAs that should be included in every section.
Every section,
Then
yeah.
you said, yeah. Then you said a click to WhatsApp, powered by an AI chatbot.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is social proof,
Mm-hmm.
preferably bombarded with UGC.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
something that we've done for social proof, other than like customer testimonials, again, we don't have videos. I would highly suggest videos.
Yeah.
Um, we've kept the podcast on there on our landing page, and I think the
Mm-hmm.
podcast has in fact got one of the most clicks on our landing page, because the moment
Mm-hmm.
you see the podcast and like episodes and who we've done it with as well, they're just like, oh, these people have talked to all of these big real estate agents. Like, okay, cool. Like, it's worth trusting them. Because
Is
literally, if
that the
you,
page that has max retention on your website?
yes, yes, the
Crazy.
podcast page.
Yeah.
Because you scroll down on our website, they're like, okay, CRM, blah blah blah, whatever, and then they see the episodes in the landing
Mm-hmm.
page, like whoever
Yeah.
we've done the podcast with. They see one
Mm-hmm.
Camilla Dell, CEO of
Yeah.
Blackbrick,
Yeah.
Daniel Daggers, who was in Buying London, and
Mm-hmm.
also he's owner of DDRE. Then Gary Hersham, who sold the most expensive property in the world, 200
Yeah.
million
Yeah.
euros, if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They see that and they're just like, oh my God, how do these people get into rooms with these people? Clearly they have something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
at least that way you get like customers.
Then how do you reach out to these the big players, right? How do you actually get in touch with them and actually convince them to actually be on the podcast? Because they don't need distribution. They've already made a good mark and they've already established themselves as the big league players.
Yeah.
So how do you actually sell them on doing this? Like an episode with
So
you on the podcast.
so if you just need to get land one person. The moment you land one person, you can go to the next
Yeah.
person and be like, hey, listen, I landed, like, I am doing a podcast with this person. Do you also want to get on? And then they're like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, you're doing one with him? What, like, then I also want to do it. So it's like
Okay.
FOMO, FOMO driven. It's
I
literally
get
like
it. Yeah.
fundraising, like you go to a fund and you're just like, hey, this fund is investing in me. Do you want to invest? Like you have one day to
Mm-hmm.
answer. And the fund is like, oh my God, okay, cool. Yeah, we do. So it's
Yeah.
very as long as you land one person, the rest become easier.
And is this done through like in-person networking? Like, do you invite them and you see them in person at some event, or is it LinkedIn, or what is it?
So it'll like I don't think it's that hard to get one person, one good person to come
Hmm.
onto your podcast, right? Through your
Yeah.
connections, through LinkedIn, somehow you can get one person out of like so many big
Yeah.
players,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
we somehow through our connections got in touch with like one person, like, and then like we just built on it. That's pretty much it.
Mhm. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, what does your marketing stack include? I just want to know. I'm very curious. Like on a
Mark.
day to day, yeah, on a day to
Yeah.
day marketing perspective, what are the tools that you guys use?
So one, like I am a very much like I'm very much a ChatGPT warrior, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, so I build custom bots for our company. In fact, you'd be surprised all of my LinkedIn posts are ChatGPT, even though like, they may not seem like it.
Hmm.
I've just trained my GPT so well that it talks like me now. In fact, like sometimes when I'm like asking it to do something, it asks me to chill. It's like
Hmm.
chill, okay, I'll do it. And that's how ChatGPT talks to me,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
because
yeah,
I've trained it on my voice. And
yeah.
I think the entire team like have their own custom bots for these things.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
next, as much as I hate to admit it, we do use a lot of Canva because
Okay.
as much as I love Photoshop and all of that, for quick
Yeah, yeah,
designs, you can't be
yeah,
that. I feel like a lot of designers have like a little pride like about using Canva because I
yeah,
remember I
yeah,
used
yeah,
to. The moment
yeah.
someone told me they're using Canva, I used to be like, oh my God, ew, are you even a designer? But then like,
I used to
oh
be the same person. Like when I was heading design back in my old firms, I used to always be a huge advocate for, because at that point when I joined the startup, they didn't have any subscription for like an Illustrator or a Photoshop or anything. They were
yeah,
just the only subscription that they had was Canva, and the designs were honestly really mid. Like it wasn't up to the mark. Like there wasn't a strong brand or whatever. So I wanted to change that up. So I kind of forced them to get up the Illustrator subscription and stuff, and then I think the designs did. The thing is, Canva is way more faster. Like if you had to make a solid collateral on Illustrator, the same thing can be done in Canva. Maybe like if you're a good designer, I mean, ultimately it depends. The tools don't matter,
it
right? It
depends.
depends on
Yeah,
the yeah. So, but like let's say for example, if it took me 15 minutes to create one piece of collateral on Illustrator, it would take me like half of that to make it on Canva
yeah,
with the same
literally
quality. Yeah,
with the
yeah.
same
Because the,
quality.
I don't know,
Yeah,
it's something with the tools, the UI. I feel like it's very readily available.
because
I don't know.
even to
Yeah,
get like different elements and all of that, you have to
yeah,
download it, then like
yeah.
import it into Illustrator and all of that. On
Get
the
the
other hand, like
license.
Canva
Yeah,
already has it, you just have to search for it.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah.
in that way, like I used to hate Canva. I was a professional Canva hater, but
Same. Yeah,
and like now I f- I encourage everyone to use Canva. In fact, like for
yeah,
our LinkedIn covers and everything, we always do
yeah,
Canva because like you can't always just wait on a designer to finish it. And also Photoshop rendering, blah blah blah, all that. Like,
yeah.
it's just like it's not that deep. Uh
Maybe this is a little bit. Maybe I have a little bit of stigma towards Canva even now. Maybe
yeah.
it's a little. It's playing with my psyche of, hey, you're a professional designer. What the hell are you doing
Yeah,
with
100%.
Canva?
Like it took
So
me
that
so
still
long to
comes
get
in.
out of it took me
Yeah,
so
yeah,
long to like actually like get back down. Like before I was like, "Oh, I am a designer. I will not associate with Canva." But then
yeah,
like
yeah,
as like my schedule got busy and everything, I was just like I just don't have time to like sit and like edit on Photoshop or Figma and then like export it and like all of
yeah,
these elements that I have to download, I have to go to FreePic, Envato,
yeah,
all of these tools. And then like it
yeah.
was just taking a lot of time, so I'm like, screw it. Let me just
For
like
me also, it's the same.
get
Like,
down off my high horse.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't really use Canva for all the things. If it's like a really important piece of collateral that has to go out in the next like 5 minutes, they've come and told me, "Hey, put this out right now." Then maybe Canva would be the like last resort options, or maybe to create a banner for an email or something like that. But most of the time, it's Illustrator or
Yeah.
Figma for me. Like, yeah, I think once I've my speed is a little too high with Illustrator and Figma. Like, even though it takes traditionally it should take a longer time, I feel like I can get my hands on faster. But yeah, last minute
Yeah.
resort definitely. This is the first time I'm publicly acknowledging it. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird. It's not loud. Yeah,
I
but
I know
hmm,
people who refuse to use CapCut because they
hmm.
are very hell bent on Premiere Pro. when CapCut
Hmm.
literally takes 1/5 the amount of time that Premiere Pro will take. So
Hmm.
there'll always be people who are like, no, I will not, like, bring myself down to that level. But sometimes it's just not that deep. Like, it's about
Okay,
like,
I can't relate to
um,
this because I'm a DaVinci Resolve user, so I really can't think about using CapCut just because of the
ah,
features. Like, yeah, just because of the features that's available. So
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. Maybe for quick
Yeah,
render. Yeah.
DaVinci Resolve is good as well. Yeah.
One thing that I really wanted to mention is for Canva. This is something I've recently found myself using. A lot of motion graphics can be done super fast on Canva. Like a lot of the Vox type
Yeah.
animations and motion graphics that you see, it's literally I can emulate the same thing in Canva in like 10 to 15 minutes, like per slide or something. But like if you traditionally would go the After Effects route, then it's going to take you so much time, right? So
Yeah,
I feel like Canva.
100%. Even
Yeah,
presentations,
yeah,
they're so much better
yeah,
on Canva than using Microsoft PowerPoint and all of that. So all of our pitch
yeah,
decks, everything we built on Canva, and
yeah.
all of our videos, instead of building it from scratch, now I use Envato. So Envato, you can get like pre-built templates for video, for After Effects, like whether it's like a hype video, whether it's a product video. So we just download that off of Envato and just edit the text. That way we have like a high quality video, which looks like it took ages to make, but in fact it took like maybe 20, like 30 minutes. Um, yeah. And then other than that, to manage content and everything, we use ClickUp, where like we have a whole board that like I keep track of. Like it's basically content planning. Then another tool that we use is called Descript for editing podcasts. So Joel does a lot of podcasts, and Descript has been really good. It's as soon as you upload the podcast, like automatically, like you have the transcript, and it's like editing a Word document, and automatically the video will be edited if you backspace. So that's been really good, and obviously CapCut as well. We use this other app called Mojo Pro.
Mojo,
I don't know if
yes,
you've heard
yes.
of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, Mojo. Um, Other than that, I'm just thinking
Have you
what
guys
other tools.
maybe tried 11 Labs and stuff for like audio?
Oh,
Or is it
yes,
because
11
most of
Labs,
it?
of course. In fact, our
Uh-huh.
AI assistant is powered by 11 Labs.
Oh, that's nice.
But now I try to avoid AI as much as I can in like all of our content, just because like I feel like um, if you use AI right now, a lot of companies are using AI. You're not going to stand out because like the moment you see an AI video, you know it's an AI video. It's not there yet in terms of like how realistic it is. Obviously the progression has been crazy in the past 3 years, how much we've come, like oh my god, like it's wild. um with like Sora being introduced in ChatGPT and everything, like it's wild. But as much as I can, I want to keep that personal touch. I want to keep that like
Fun fact, I actually saw this on one of your podcasts. I don't know, I think you featured in one of some podcasts, and I vaguely remember you saying that you guys got the name Kendall from Succession.
yeah, literally. In fact, I was just gonna put up a post about that on Kendall. Um, the entire team, we just sat together and we're just like, what do we name this new company? Because we left crypto, right? So we're just like, what do we name this company? We don't want to call it like our old name again. And then all of us used to watch Succession, and we're just like, what about a Succession character? What about like Logan? And then there was already an AI called Logan AI. We're like, okay, let's go for Kendall. And then we noticed there's also like Kendall AI. So we're just like, okay, let's just remove one L and keep it Kendall with one L. And that's exactly how we decided our company name. And that's a very interesting story whenever we like go for these brokerage meetings as well. In fact, like we were at a very big brokerage, and the owner was asking us like, oh, why is it called Kendall? And then we're just like, oh, we named it after Kendall Roy from Succession. And then he's like, oh my God, I love watching Succession. I watch it with my daughter all the time. And then immediately we formed like a connection there, like
Okay.
so it's crazy. We think that real estate agents and all of these, big people, they don't do normal people things. But in
Yeah,
fact,
yeah,
when they go home, they're
yeah,
just watching TV with their kids.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we touched upon a couple of things, right? We talked about UI for marketers. We talked about vibe coding a little bit. So I just want to touch upon something that's super important. Do marketers need to know how to code? And leave aside
Very.
your, no, I'm not talking about data analytics. I'm not talking about SQL or Postgres or anything like that. That definitely adds value. I feel like everyone should learn that. But I'm talking about more of the other stuff. Now, let's say front end, back end, all those stuff. Do they need to know that?
So, so for me, like, I think I would have a very biased, actually, no, I wouldn't have a biased opinion. I personally wish I knew code.
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest regret ever. When I was in school, I took bio and math instead of computer science and
Yeah.
math.
Yeah.
And that's again to this day one of my biggest regrets, that I didn't learn code. I know I still can, but just don't have the time. I feel
Yeah.
like when you
It's an,
understand code, it opens a lot of doors for you. That way you're not just a marketer. You're like this, have you seen that meme where it's like your like brain is exploding, like those different
yeah.
stages
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
like the final is like,
Yeah.
oh my God, enlightened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how I see someone, a marketer who knows code and design. You're unstoppable. You can literally
Yeah.
launch your own company and you don't need anybody else. And yeah, so I don't think like traditionally, I don't think marketers really need to know code. Not right now, because like a lot of it like AI can do. But if you do know it, then you just become this like crazy version of yourself. So it's not necessary, but like can help.
If there was one skill that you would recommend all marketers to have, what would it be?
The art of selling, I would say. Like the art of selling and like dealing with people, I guess. Like that's the most important thing as a marketer, because I've seen so many marketers out there who are just pushing out stuff without even understanding what's important and like um to their end consumer, right? Um so if you know how to talk and if you know the art of influencing, marketing becomes like so easy for you. It becomes like a part of your life. So I think that, I know that's like a very, very soft skill. Um, but other than that, I would ask all marketers to learn the basics of design and video editing. Because right now, both of those work hand in hand. There is no marketing without design and video editing. So you might as well learn that.
So you would say sales, learn how to communicate well, learn video editing, and learn product design, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's basically like everything.
What are some of the best leads and strategies that you guys have implemented and seen results in the B2B space?
We tried performance marketing for a bit, so that we could get inbound. But like obviously, like when you are a startup, there are always budget constraints, and performance marketing is a very, very expensive thing to do.
Hmm.
So right now we're focusing on outbound on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has something that's is something that's been generating really good um, leads for us, and then the podcast, of course, the podcast has been really good. These two have been our primary drivers for the past 6 to 7 months in terms of lead generation.
So is there any sort of marketing resources that you would suggest? It could be someone you listen to,
Mark.
watch, read.
mm, So someone that I love listening to in terms of marketing is Tanmay Bhatt. I think he's nailed the art of marketing.
Please.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
for content, I just listen to him. I just listen to him.
Mm.
And also, I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of Indian creators.
Mm.
I don't think any country has caught up to the marketing that India does. India's marketing is insane. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there are a couple of companies that I look up to. I think
Mhm.
I don't know if you've heard of Cred.club.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um,
Tanmay did the
yeah.
ad campaigns for all of
So
them. Yeah,
yes, yes, Tanmay did ad
yeah,
campaigns for
yeah.
Cred, and I think I constantly look up to them. And the fact that they've been able to get 1% of India's population, which is like the richest
Yeah,
population of India, onto this app, and even
yeah,
though there's like literally like there's then I don't think they're still profitable, right? Like to this day, but like the hype that they've built around themselves, I think that's,
yeah.
yeah. As far
But they
as I
still
know, they're
have a
still
very
not
solid
profitable.
brand. Yeah, they have a very solid brand, and I think that's a
Yeah,
result of
yeah.
like the ads they've run and the kind of atmosphere that they created. I think India has done a superb, like a phenomenal job on cracking the influencer scene. I don't think any other country has got as well as India has done. I'm talking about not just getting followers, not just creating community. Sure, America has done it. A lot of other countries
Yeah,
have done it. UAE, there are, I think, only very few countable influencers who've done that. But I think India has really cracked the code in actually creating that community, building content and stuff, and creating that engagement as an influencer, and then building a brand finally out of it, like your own product, your own
yeah,
company, and then
yeah,
how you can create that link. That is something that I feel
yeah,
UAE hasn't tapped into yet, or people in the UAE haven't really cracked as such. I think you guys are
100%.
like close to it.
In
I think you
India
guys are close
has,
to it.
yeah, India has cracked the art of community building, I would say. And that is something that UAE lacks in a lot, like a crazy amount. Like here they don't, even if you go to a company and you pitch like relatable content or community and all of that, it just doesn't stick well with them because we're still a very corporate environment, I would say, UAE. But India has broken that fourth wall, you know. They're just like, it doesn't matter. Like let's just like put ourselves out there.
Any advice for young marketers out there?
Please don't do masters. Uh, please don't do courses. Just everything is free. Get on YouTube and do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, masters are a scam. Like everyone I know who's done masters, like you're gonna learn all of that in a startup for free in 1 year, and in fact, you might even get paid for it. Um,
Yeah.
so as much as you can, I don't think marketing is something that you need a course for or you need to go to college for. Just as soon as like you can, work even if it's for free, just work for someone, like work for a startup, get that
Yeah.
exposure, get that little bit of a push, and then you can move on to a company and then like slowly start building it from there, because marketing is a very experience driven and like a creativity driven profession, and you can't
Mm.
teach someone creativity. So any university that tells you they're going to teach you marketing, just like it's a scam.
That's crazy. You guys
Yeah.
have listed it out on your website that you guys have generated over 50,000 MQLs at the moment. What are the numbers like currently, like as of today? Like how many clients do you guys? I think you said 35. Do you have 35 clients under you? You've onboarded 35
35
real estate
brokerages, yes.
brokerages, yes. And maybe an average, maybe an estimate about the leads that they generated.
As much as like we can like fix things on their CRM, we don't have access to their data because we're very particular about being compliant on that. But I can say that we've probably like qualified like more than 100,000 leads as of now. And this is in a span of 1 year.
Yeah, that's insane growth, actually. What are your future goals and how close are you to attaining them?
Um, Honestly, by this age, 20, 26, 27, I never thought I would be like heading a marketing department. In fact, I'm right now head of marketing and customer success.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of where I see myself progressing, and my dream is to be a chief operating officer. Um, because right now, other than marketing, I'm also like doing a lot of automations and I'm like upskilling in terms of that front. Like I love setting up automations. In fact, I enjoy that.
Yeah,
I love looking at dashboards. I used to be like this fun social media girly, but now it's just it's a little different. Like
yeah,
I like looking at
yeah.
data. um, so in terms of career, I see myself like becoming a COO, and maybe like a couple of years down the line, I definitely want to start my own company. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I want to build in the creator economy space back there again,
Mm.
because right now I'm also like a part-time content creator for sure. Like I do
Yeah,
post a
yeah.
lot of content on Instagram, and there are some pain points that I face, and I think, I would be like I'd be in a good position to go ahead and build a product that fixes it. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely want to get back into the creator economy and build a product of my own or an app of my own for sure.
Anything specific?
Um, it has to do with project management for creators and like
Hmm.
handling of files and all of these things, because right now it's, even if you look at like how they communicate with their video editors and everything, all of the files are through Google Drive. And like
Yeah.
then you have to ask them to upload it back on Google Drive, and then you have to download. It's like the whole system is like very fragmented, I would say. There's no
Hmm.
centralized system for like project management approvals for creators.
I mean, all the best. I mean, I hope it becomes a reality soon, and I hope that you get much bigger things in life. Yeah, I hope you see some great numbers.
First thing is for Kendall to IPO,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you guys are pushing for IPO? That's crazy.
Not right now, but like that's the
Okay.
goal. That's the goal. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, thank you so much for doing this. You've been very sweet. I know we went a little bit over schedule, but thank you so much for doing this, man. Looking forward to catching up soon, another time maybe, and talk more about Kendall and more about your dream company. So yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, and glad you thought of me. And yeah, can't wait to see the pod take off.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.